My idea of this video is to give a status update on the project that I'm currently working on, because I want to do this every year, answer a few questions and compare them to see where I'm at now versus then, so to see progress, hopefully. What kind of writer are you? So I'm a wannabe writer. Then what project are you working on? Right now I'm working on Not the Chosen One. The story idea is to tell a chosen one story, but from the perspective of a not chosen one character, to tell it from a side character and get a sideline view into this kind of story. What is your favorite sentence that you have written this year? What I did very well this year is to actually write every day, so I set a challenge for myself to actually get going and do something. So I wrote a lot, but not necessarily good. I think the sentence that I kind of like the best this year is this one, because mostly of the descriptive part, I realize it's very bleak and morbid, but I kind of like the descriptive element of this finger-thick stream splashing out. I heard that somewhere in a documentary, and I found it very vivid in how descriptive it was. So I really like that detail and also remembering where it came from. What story are you obsessed with right now? This question is really about remembering what kind of influence I'm looking at right now. What I'm really obsessed with currently is I just read the audition and I just started reading also The Ring. So I guess what I'm really obsessed with right now is early 1990 2000s Japanese horror novels, and especially that tone in there. What writing problem are you currently struggling with? So my biggest writing problem right now is probably that of knowing the full story and knowing all the secrets of my story, and how to still get into this mindset of how to create this intrigue and mystery to really get invested into the story myself. Because I know all the secrets, it's a bit hard to really see it from the reader's perspective and see how this could be like this really intriguing story, hopefully page-turning story where you want answers, right? So to find that pull that I want to create when I myself already know the whole story. That's the biggest struggle that I have right now, to get into the reader's mindset, I guess. Where are you in the story right now? In the last few weeks, I've been focusing mostly on the conflict between the protagonist and his family, well, mostly his parents. So the chosen one family, right? And the conflict within that family, and how the situations they are in lead to their conflict. So this whole destiny stuff and what effects it has on not the chosen one necessarily, but everyone around him. What one word summarizes what you want your writing year to be? This year I really want to focus on the antagonist of the story. So like I said, I know the overall story, I know sort of the plot, what happens, what has to happen, and I have fleshed out the characters and the conflict there. So a lot of that stuff feels real enough to me already, whereas the antagonist is really just a placeholder right now. So the biggest problem that I had this year is that with the characters and the situation there and the family drama and stuff, that's all really intriguing to me, so it was really easy to get invested in that conflict. Whereas the antagonist conflict, right now the antagonist is still very much a question mark in terms of what it looks like, what exactly it does, you know, all these details that make it interesting and lively and whatever. All this stuff is still missing. It's still very much this blank canvas placeholder kind of thing, and because of that I'm lacking the emotional attachment and kind of intrigue there to really get invested in that part of the story and work on that. So what I really want to do this year is to focus on that and to find these starting points to get invested in, and what exactly about this type of antagonist and conflict and stuff is intriguing to me, which is also a reason why I've been reading a lot of more horror kind of novels, and also more like those, not traditional, but more like older, more classics, to kind of get a sense of what I like and what intrigues me about those stories, so that I can use that as a sort of starting point to start fleshing out what I want it to feel like in my story and what I want to see, I guess. So I'm looking for things I want to see and get a good starting point there.